As we have just desilted this drain, I bet you tomorrow when you come, you will see refuse in the drain. People just do whatever they want. What we have is lawlessness and recklessness. And until we prosecute people who abuse the environment, we will never make progress.
Accra is drowning in garbage. And yes, lawless citizens have a lot to do with it. But the problem is bigger than that. By law, waste management is the responsibility of the local government. In this case, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA. In 2010, the AMA entered into a contract with 9 waste management companies to manage waste collection on its behalf. But the system isn't working, and for a number of reasons. Firstly, Accra generates 2,500 tons of garbage daily, which needs to be disposed of. Until recently, the city had 3 landfill disposal sites. Today, it has none.
Formerly, we were dumping at Achimota, we were dumping at Saba, we were dumping at Abokobi. So we had 3 dump sites to dump refuse. But all those dump sites are full to capacity, and they are now, the government or the AMA has decided to shut it down. So all the 9 waste management contractors, including Zoom Lion, when we haul the refuse, we send it to the final disposal site at Pone.
Tema, beyond Tema?
Yes, beyond Tema.
So you mean this thing, they're going to carry it all the way to
Tema? The point is that the distance between the final disposal site and the point of collection is very far apart. So the trucks are unable to lift the refuse regularly or timelessly.
How this situation wasn't anticipated and new landfill sites not planned for is difficult to understand. The return trip to the Pone landfill site outside Tema is 90 kilometers, and disposing of just 1 load of garbage can take anything up to 6 hours, depending on the traffic on the Tema motorway and the queues at the dump site. So it's no surprise that garbage is piling up in the city. The situation is also putting the Pone landfill site under immense pressure.
The lifespan of the landfill is 10 to 12 years, and it is designed to receive 500 tons of waste, average 500 tons of waste in a day. But because of the challenge that we have in Accra now Accra waste is coming in here. So it's now taking 1,500 average of waste in a day. So obviously, the lifespan that is estimated for 10 and 12 years is going to cut down to about 5 years, which then indicates the seriousness or the challenge we face in the future.
Engineered landfill sites are expensive to build and expensive to run, and they occupy ever-dwindling land around cities. It's important that waste is properly managed to ensure that as little as possible of it ends up in the landfill. Given the mountains of garbage we generate daily, the question is how? The answer is actually simple: recycling. The Accra Compost and Recycling Plant processes almost half of the city's waste, reducing its bulk by up to 70%.
Let me try and get this right. Every kind of waste is brought here, or only certain kinds of waste?
It's everything mixed up. In Ghana, we don't separate our waste from source. So everything comes here mixed up, being glass, being plastics, all forms, paper, metal scraps, and then the organic component of it, which normally poses a lot of danger to the atmosphere on the landfill. They all come here, and then we use the resources here to separate them. You understand? The main thing is to isolate the organic component out of it, and then we send it to the compost plant where we decompose it naturally.
After 3 short months, garbage is transformed into rich organic compost for use in agriculture.
And the rest of it, the other stuff?
Yes, the other stuff is what goes to the we call the recyclables. That's the non-organic materials, those that we recover, like the plastics.
You sell this clearly?
Exactly. We have Chinese customers that buy
Chinese customers buy this?
And export it to Malaysia.
And what are they going to do with this?
Yes, currently, this is what they use for, they're using it for textiles and sportswear.
Sportswear?
Yeah. Our target is to send only 5%. That's the target eventually to the landfill.
Only 5% of the waste you receive will go to a landfill?
Yes. And in so doing, we'll be preserving more space.
Correct.
Because currently, the only landfill we have in Accra is the Pone landfill. Yeah. All spaces are gone.
So you cannot rely on landfill sites as a way to dispose of waste. Let's get that clear. That's not sustainable.
Not at all.
It makes perfect sense. Currently, 70% of the garbage that arrives at the plant is either recycled or turned into compost, leaving only 30% to be disposed of in landfill sites. That's a huge benefit. What doesn't make sense is the fact that the plant has been closed for over a month. Why? Because government owes them 40 million cedis and they can't afford to function.
We are unable to continue. We are about 300 here. We have 300 staffs that we have paid for almost 2 years now. We've run this plant with our own resources for the past 2 years. I mean, borrowing at 30-35% is way beyond our capacity.
Why do you think that the government would choose to allow a place like this to lie idle?
The government claims there's no enough money.
If there should be an outbreak of disease today, whose responsibility is it? Definitely it's going to be the responsibility of the government. It looks like right now, government has taken itself out as far as sanitation issues are concerned. They've passed on everything to the service provider, which is not right.
For a government short of resources, a public-private partnership makes good sense. But for the private sector, it makes no sense at all. The assembly fixes the fees, and they say they are running at a loss.
When those fees were fixed, especially the AMA contractors, they were dumping in Accra, and they didn't have any dump sites again for them in Accra. So through no fault of theirs, they have to travel all the way to Pong.
At the same price?
At the same price.
These fees were set in 2012 and haven't been revised since, despite the fall of the cedi and the spiraling cost of fuel. Worse still, fees are set according to the community's ability to pay. In high-income households such as cantonments, people pay 30 cedis a month for their garbage to be collected weekly. In places like Ashiaman, for the exact same service, people pay 3 cedis.
Even if there are poor people within your jurisdiction that cannot pay, it is the responsibility of the assembly to subsidize. And we've done this education over and over and over again. All they keep saying is, they can't pay, they can't pay, they can't pay. And this is affecting a lot of our members because the numbers have dwindled down. A lot of the businesses have collapsed based on the rates that are determined for them.
So these companies are actually collapsing?
Most of them have collapsed.
But Zoomlion appears to be doing well?
With Zoomlion, I want to believe if they should take down correct bookkeeping and things, I don't think they are even breaking even.
Imagine that.
I don't think Zoomlion is breaking even. I'm saying this for a fact.
The Pone landfill site is managed by Zoomlion.
As a company, as operators, we've been working for over 1.5 years and we've not been paid.
What is government not paying? I want to understand this because we keep getting told government is not paying. Everybody keeps saying government is not paying. Not paying what?
We've been contracted to operate and maintain the sites, and to do that, you need equipment to do that. You need fuel, you need lubricant, direct cost, that is people that you employ to ensure that the management is done well. You need people, you need to assess or analyze the literature that you produce. All these things comes with cost. You know, just hiring a dozer for a day is 1,200 cedis.
But is there an agreed fee?
Yes. From the contract, we agreed that government is going to pay us, or TMA will pay us 12.3 cedis per ton. And
pay who?
Pay the operator, which is Zoomlion.
You are the operators of
this financial site. Yes. Yeah. And at the contract, we agreed that we'll be paying this amount of money. At the end of the month, we present invoices to them for payment, but we do that and for
Have
over
they ever paid you?
Yes, they just recently, because of the few hula baloo that went around, so we received a few amount from TMN and government, which we are using to ensure that at least our equipment and our staff then do some work. But it's not sufficient.
Why do you think government is not paying?
Yeah, David, you and I, we are all in the country and we know, we've been hearing what is happening. Government has no money, government has no money. And today, I think the Mokola, the sellers around are on strike today because they said there are so many taxes, there are so many money. And we all know what is happening in country. There's no money. That's the question. Sikanu Wayne. That's the question we're asking ourselves. Sikanu Wayne. So I don't know. We want to plead with government. Wherever the money is, they should make it available to us. So we manage this. So together, we can live in a good and a healthy environment.
Sikanu Wayne. Where is the money?
Where is the money?